checking into our Panama flight. So here we are. So we'll be next to each other in first class.
Woo-woo.
From Toronto to Cancun.
Which is an Air Canada flight, right?
Yep. And then we will also be in business class next to each other from Cancun to Panama.
On Copa.
On Copa Airlines.
So we actually booked these flights on points. I think we showed it in a video a while back, but basically the cost in points for the flights that we picked on, what is today? Today's a Tuesday. We're visiting a house with a dog. So
What are you gonna say? Talk to me.
yeah. From Canada, they have direct flights on Thursdays, I believe, and the amount of points it would have taken to get a flight on the direct flights on Thursday were the same amount for the regular seats as it was for business class on the Tuesday, with one connection through Cancun and a 4-hour layover. So obviously we went with the Cancun 4-hour layover.
Hey, so we are in Toronto for the day. We decided to split our travel day up when we booked it. So we actually are here for the whole day, staying with a friend. And fortunately for us, there's a adorable French bakery just down the road. So we stopped by and got some sweets just to have for breakfast and throughout the day. And yeah, just gonna get some work done.
Yeah.
The sun comes shining through. Wearing my rose-colored glasses, the world looks shiny and new. The skies are ever so blue. I'm happy through and through. Wearing my rose-colored glasses, I tell you what I see. You are still here with me.
It's bedtime. Panama tomorrow. We are currently in the Toronto airport. We are waiting to go through security to get on our first flight to Cancun before we continue on to Panama. And let me tell you, we had some stress right off the bat. First question asked.
When are you coming back?
When are you coming back?
When are you coming back? And we
We're like, a year. And then she was like, well, do you have a return ticket? I was like, no, but we have an onwards ticket from the countries that we are going to. So she was like, okay, do you have all the proper visas? And I was like, we don't need any visas for the length of stays in each of these countries that we're going to. And then she looked at her computer for a really long time. All of a sudden she looked at us and she's like, all right, give me your bags.
I think she had to get approval to override maybe the system.
Yeah.
So she maybe didn't have the ability. Well, anyway.
So it was a little stressful at first there. There goes our luggage. It's driving away on us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get an alert saying that Duke, Silver, and Darlene are not near us anymore.
We got to name our
we
air
got
tags,
we
so
named our A tags.
Mine's Duke Silver.
Mine's Darlene. And my backpack is Roger. Your backpack is
Steve Blackman.
Steve Blackman.
WWE legend. So now we have to go through security so we can go to the lounge
Yeah.
and get food. We don't board for another, I think, hour and change.
We are also flying business for this leg of our journey.
Oh,
So
flights.
we are in the priority lineup right now, which I'm glad for, because I feel like you would have been even more stressed had we been in the normal one.
Yes. I feel like this one's a little bit more chill and a little better off. So
Yeah.
anyway,
So let's go through security and we'll take you to the lounge.
see you in the lounge.
Panama. So we made it to our Airbnb. We're hanging out. We'll probably take it pretty chill, have a shower, and go to bed. Andrew has to work tomorrow. We did have a stopover in Cancun, and we had a 3-hour layover. And unfortunately, I don't think that's long enough for a layover in Cancun, which is a horrible thing to say because that's a lot of your time. We ended up landing at a normal time. It was fairly easy to get through the customs and immigration. They just implemented the e-stamp. As long as you are following the instructions correctly and scanning your passport and looking at the right place, you can get through really quickly. There's literally marked things on the ground and people are not standing where they're supposed to and then expecting it to take a picture of them and they're too close or they're too far. Anyways, it was a little annoying. But we made it through that, and then we had to wait for our luggage. And we waited for our luggage for an hour and a half. We're at the Cancun airport, currently trying to get our bags off the baggage carousel so that we can go and check in for our next flight to Panama. Except it's taking a really long time, and there's like 5 different flights whose bags are coming out at the same time. So hopefully soon. My bag has been found. Andrew is still waiting on his, and then we will catch a bus over to the other terminal so that we can drop off our bags and do it all again. So the Cancun airport has 4 different terminals and they are very far apart. And so there is a free shuttle that goes to all the terminals, but we were informed that to do its complete loop, it takes over an hour, and it had just recently passed us and where we were supposed to be picked up. And so we ended up paying for a personal shuttle to take us to the terminal that we needed to get to, and we were severely overcharged on that one. So that was a little bit of money that we weren't anticipating spending that was quoted to us in pesos, and we didn't have Wi-Fi and couldn't do the conversion and all that stuff. So that sucked, but we move on. Overall, once we got to the terminal, it was fairly quick.
Copa was really great.
Yeah.
Copa when we bought our flights, we bought them through Air Canada.
You want to come sit with me?
Sure, I was just unpacking. Hey, we got in the Copa line, super fast, super quick. Again, it was great.
I do want to say, if you are doing something like this where you're visiting multiple countries in a row, if you haven't booked a return ticket, it's going to show up on your file as not having a return ticket, and they'll flag that. And for us, at least, we needed to show proof in like Cancun that we had a ticket out of Panama before we could even sign in for our flight to Panama. So that's something to be aware of if you are someone who doesn't, like if you don't connect to Wi-Fi or if you don't have a SIM card and things like that. Those are things you may want to have on your phone and ready when you're going to the country before the next country, if that makes sense. I thought it was going to be just the immigrations that was going to ask for it, and I didn't realize that the airlines just checking in for an airline was going to ask us. The flight from Cancun to Panama, we were in business class, and there really weren't a ton of people in business class.
No, there's like there was 16 seats, and all in all, there's maybe 8 of us.
But we had the sweetest flight attendant. Her name was Carlina, and she asked us if we spoke English or Spanish, and we said we spoke a little bit of Spanish, and so she tried to speak to us in Spanish.
Slowly in
Spanish. So, and then we would respond to her. So we had like our first little Spanish conversation.
Well, and 100 days of Duolingo coming in handy.
Yeah. At the end of the flight, she asked us how long we were staying in Panama, and we told her we were here for a while. And so she gave us a recommendation for a restaurant. She said she is Panamanian, she's lived here all her life, and she had never been to this restaurant until recently. And this restaurant perfectly symbolized all of the different cultures and things that Panama is known for in their cuisines. And so she gave us that recommendation. But on top of that, she also gave us her phone number so that we can contact
WhatsApp her.
Yeah, send her a message on WhatsApp if we need more recommendations or if we need help with anything or anything like that. But that was super sweet, and she was so nice.
Fortunately for us, when we booked our Airbnb, the hosts reached out and said, hey, taxis can be a little shitty. Do you want us to book you a driver? It's $25 US. we'll book you a driver. You know how much to pay, kind of thing. And we said, yeah, that would actually be great. We don't want to have to deal with like the stress of taxis and the cost and all that jazz. When we landed, we walked quite a bit because we had to go to a separate terminal to get our bags. We went through security, all that jazz. We messaged the driver. He met us. He was fantastic. He also didn't speak a lot of English, but did his best to like talk to us about like key elements. He's like, oh, this is like the business district and
It's
stuff
so
like that.
funny. Like listening to him, it always took me an extra couple seconds to determine what he was saying. And like all the words that he was saying, I knew the words, but it's so different listening to the voices on Duolingo say them and voices in real life say them.
Someone with like an accent or like a localized accent. But
So I think our Spanish is promising.
yeah, we are in our room, which we'll show you, I'm sure, a bit later on. But for tonight, we are gonna take it easy, unpack a little bit, clean, and go to bed.
Yeah. All right. Good night.
Good night.